All right, let's dive into something so many of us struggle with, but maybe don't fully understand. We're going to break down the psychology of people pleasing and get to the bottom of why it feels almost impossible to just say no.
So be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever said yes to something, a project, a favor, a party, when every single part of you was screaming no? That feeling, that physical discomfort at the thought of letting someone down, that's exactly what we're unpacking today.
But here's the big twist. What if I told you this isn't a character flaw? What if it's not a weakness at all? Psychology is showing us that this is actually a deeply ingrained survival strategy. It's something your brain came up with to keep you safe and connected.
And here's the core of it. When you strip it all down, people-pleasing often boils down to anxiety. It's this powerful, almost primal need to make sure you have a secure spot in your social circles, at your job, in your family, just by being as agreeable as possible.
So why is our brain so good at this strategy? What's really going on under the hood? Well, we're going to break down the 5 hidden psychological reasons that push your brain to say yes, even when you're dying to say no.
Let's kick things off with the first and maybe the most fundamental reason of all. This idea of tying your personal value to how useful you are. Basically, it's when you've learned deep down that your worth is conditional. It's not about who you are inherently, it's about what you can do for other people. Your value feels like something you have to earn over and over again.
And think about the logic here. It's actually really powerful. When you say yes to helping someone, you feel needed. And that feeling of being needed, well, that makes you feel safe. It feels like you won't be forgotten or replaced. So in that moment, saying no can feel like you are literally erasing your own value in that relationship.
Okay, on to reason number 2, and this one builds right on top of the last one. It's the tendency to actually absorb the emotions of people around you.
Now, this is especially true if you're a highly empathetic person. You don't just see that someone is disappointed or stressed out. Oh no, your own nervous system starts to feel it. It's like you're an emotional sponge, and you just soak it all up.
You know, psychology actually has a name for this. It's called emotional contagion. It's this wild idea that emotions can spread from one person to another, kind of like a cold. So if someone near you is radiating stress, your body starts to react and feel that stress too. So just imagine that lightning-fast calculation your brain makes. If I say no, they might get upset. Then my nervous system has to deal with that negative energy, and that feels terrible. So in that split second, saying yes becomes a tool. It's a way to manage their mood just so you can protect your own.
And you can probably see how that leads right into our third reason, which is all rooted in a deep fear of being left behind. Let's talk about hiding your needs.
When you're worried about being replaceable, your mind is always trying to prevent that from happening. And a very common strategy it comes up with is simple. Just don't be a burden. Never be too much. So you stop asking for things. You keep your own needs and wants under wraps, so you're never seen as difficult or high maintenance. And hey, the strategy works. You become incredibly easy to keep around. But the cost is huge, right? Because your own needs get pushed aside, again and again. All right, reason number 4. And this one really reframes the whole thing in a fascinating way. Thinking of agreement not as a weakness, but as a shield. This just flips the whole script. It suggests that always going along with things isn't about being unconfident or a pushover. It's actually a really smart and adaptive strategy your brain learned to protect you from getting hurt emotionally. I mean, you can almost see the internal risk assessment happening in real time. On one side, you've got disagreeing. That could lead to conflict, to feeling unheard or dismissed. So much risk. But on the other side, agreeing. That's the safety of compliance. It becomes a shield you carry to avoid feeling more pain.
And for our 5th and final reason, we're going inside your head, to that constant inner monologue. We're talking about the self-awareness overload.
This is way beyond just being self-aware. This is a state of hyper-awareness. It's like you've got this little commentator in your brain, constantly analyzing in real time how you're being perceived by absolutely everyone.
The official term for this is high self-monitoring. It basically means you're always checking your tone of voice, your body language, your word choices, all in an effort to perfectly manage how you appear to the outside world.
And it's absolutely draining, isn't it? This constant analysis. You're terrified that saying no will make you come across as selfish or mean. So what do? You overcommit. You stretch yourself thin,
all to perfectly curate everyone else's perception of you.
So when you put it all together, when you look at these 5 reasons, a whole new picture starts to form. This habit of always saying yes, it is not a simple weakness. It's not a flaw you need to fix.
In fact, it's something much more complex. As our source material puts it so perfectly, it is a highly empathetic, deeply protective strategy your brain developed to keep you safe. It's a sophisticated adaptive shield designed to protect your relationships and keep you out of harm's way. And that leaves us with one last, really powerful thought to chew on. If people-pleasing is a strategy, one that your brilliant brain learned to keep you safe, doesn't that also mean you have the power to learn and to choose a new one?